Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, and to future me, hello. I hope you put your socks away. Welcome back to another edition of the Gloves Off Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things Super Smash Brothers, both big, Texas big, and then Texas small. I'm your host, as always, Master Hand Games Koopa, and joined me today is the Lone Star to my Texas Ranger, Mr. Chris CX. What's going on, buddy?
Not too much. Hello, Koopa. How are you?
I'm great, and that's it. It's just us today. So
Yeah.
we have a pretty intimate podcast for you guys today. It's mostly because of scheduling purposes. You know, I'm going to a baseball game tomorrow, and Chris is a busy man this week, so we're both going to go at it alone tonight. But fret not, because we're gonna have some cool stuff coming
Some
at you in the next couple of weeks.
good content.
Yeah, as always. So if you guys haven't already done so already, go check out the rest of the content on the other page. We just did our PR reveal coming off of that, so I hope you slept well, because I certainly did.
Yeah, I don't know if I did or not, but I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with how it went regardless. It was super sloppy, man. If you're listening to this now and you go back and listen to the PR reveal, it got a little ratchet, but I kind of liked it that way. It was just
It was pretty crusty on my end, mostly.
Dude, same here, and I think the reality is because there was so much prep that goes into the power rankings, and I know you guys on the panel were crunching pretty hard that past week, and then like you were feeding me basically the information for the slides the day of leading in, so we were prepping basically to the minute of actually doing it. So I think like all of that, I don't want to call it frustration because I actually did have a good time with it, but all of that like just like tired energy was very much present.
Pressure makes diamonds, baby. That's
Heck,
all I gotta say.
heck yeah.
Yeah, but so we got a fun little podcast for you guys today. This is believe it or not, locally probably like one of the first dead weekends we've had in here in a while. But
Yeah.
it's very strange. We're like, collectively we all have a weekend off. Like I don't want to take shots at I think there was a pop the bubble or something this
There's
Saturday
there's
in
always
South
something,
Jersey.
man. There's Pop the Bubble. There's like a Mustache Mayhem. There's
That's what it
always
was.
there's always
Yeah.
like something, but there was nothing really like that people really went out and traveled to. Like there was like the usual locals, but no monthlies, no Although it's funny actually. Let me take a step back. So I remember like towards the end of Wii U, there was always like a pseudo monthly or something.
Uh-huh.
And then now it just seems like there's actually a structure of monthlies, which is nice. There's just like a ton of weeklies. So those weeklies still go on basically no matter what. And people don't always travel unless it's like Spectrum.
Yeah, there's one going on as we record
As we
this
record, yeah.
podcast. So hopefully you guys are farming your new brownie points. And if you want to know more about that, listen to the Krusty podcast we recorded last week. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, though, there was a big tournament this weekend in the form of Low Tier City 7, which happens. This is obviously the seventh iteration of this tournament. I've heard about it for the last few years. I think it was primarily had its legs as like a PM event, and then it kind of transitioned into like the whole other
Is that
side of
right?
esports stuff. Yeah, like Texas is a huge scene for Project M. Like back in like 2013, 2014, still is. That whole scene in general is like, it's like if you could be underrated and like really good at the same time, it'd be Texas. Like I
That's
think that
like
whole region as a whole is like very, very solid for like both the structure they have and like the talent of players that they possess.
Yeah, I always look at these things from like the angle that I do things here. So like for me, I just look at like Tourney Locator, the channel everything was streamed on, and I mean no reason to delay on this one. The production for this particular tournament was probably the best production I've ever seen related to a Smash event. I think before that,
130% agreed.
dude, absolutely, and I think before that I would have given it to Gommel, which was also pretty impressive. But the thing I really, 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 really liked, and I'm trying to find the hold on, I'll find it in a second. But basically, the presentation of it, I always think about how much like I sweat overlays, and I'm sweating like how a tournament looks. And what I noticed for top 8 was literally the staging was the overlay. They didn't have overlays because they had amazing cameras, and the way they did the stage was like it looked like an overlay. And I'm trying to find the exact example of how I mean, but like they basically had all of like the player pictures, they had like the scores, they had like the character portraits, just everything, and they would just zoom the camera on it. I'll skip around to see if I find it, but it was honestly beautiful.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Like just the framing of how everything looked
Look at
was
here.
solid.
This is it right here.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely
So
amazing.
so this is literally an overlay, right? So here's the game in the center. You'll see it in a second. Here's like the score, the character portraits, like what round it is, the players. Like this is literally what my overlay looks like, but this is a camera. Like this is not like a OBS put together, which is usually how things work. And I thought that was amazing. It gave me so many thoughts of how these things could go. I was just kind of just stoked to see it.
It's wild. So like I was only able to catch like the tail end. Well, not the tail end, but like I was able to catch top 16 on Saturday and all of top 8 on Sunday. And I gotta say, Esports Stadium is absolutely gorgeous. Like this event space is
Look
probably
at the
one of the nicest
staging,
places
dude.
I've ever seen. Yeah, like it looks like a set piece out of a Nickelodeon like game show
This
from
is
the 90s.
amazing. Like this is easily since the game's released the best like presentation I've seen for tournament.
Nah, I agree. Like it was very creative. It's just such great framing and making use of the space that you have. The only like issues I'd say were more on like the staging production was fine, but the audio production was kind of
Oh
mixed.
my god,
like,
it was bad. It was kind of bad.
There's some bad problems where like sometimes the right music wasn't even playing, sometimes there was no noise. But you know that was here nor there. Like nothing's ever gonna go off like there's always gonna be something that's you know you could kind of which you go back in time and do it. But production wise, I agree. Like it all looked crisp on Sunday. Like I like the format that they went with. Like it looked very professional.
Yes,
And
aesthetically very, very pleasing.
yeah, and I said this during the Gamal podcast, but they did something on Sunday that like reminded me like so much of traditional sports where like they do the big like sweeping zoom in of the area they're in and they show like, you know, little like highlights and like people going around the event while someone's narrating over it. Like you know exactly like if you've watched sports, you know what I'm talking about. Like the lead in to whatever you're about to watch. And I'm just like that is so smart and it's so professional.
Well, that was what I think professional is exactly the word.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And they were doing this like the crowd cams were absolutely fantastic. And again, I just
excited.
like
She was pumped.
I hope so. Also, I can't like get over how like I just want to eat the stage. Like it just looks delicious.
Like these victory screens too. Like if you're
so
watching
cool.
this, like it just it's like a whole unique kind of splash of the player who wins and like a little backdrop to the character portrait. It looks so cool.
Yeah, without a doubt. And like anything with an analyst desk is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and it has a stage right behind it. Like, come on, that's amazing. But
yeah, no, we could go on for hours about that, and like production wise, it was great, and tournament wise, it was also very good because this tournament was I don't know where it fell onto the tier status to my knowledge. How many entrants did it have?
There was 696 entrants, which I guess would put it in what A tier.
Is that combined for both events? Because
so,
there was melee and
so no, this is specifically for Ultimate had 696. The whole tournament had like 1200.
Okay, so that means it was at least B tier.
I think at least. The thing is I don't know if because this is technically the second season for PGR, and I know they just released a thing on the PGR Twitter or someone did who's related to the PGR about how they're going to be tiering or making the distinction between tiers, and I don't know if it's just attendance based now because there are going to be PR'd players. Because if you recall in Smash 4. The PGR would basically work where you would need a certain amount of attendance and you would also need a certain amount of PGR attendance, like basically people in the top 50. So I don't know if that's changed already or not.
Correct. I do hope that they like just quickly on that. Like I do hope that they do keep it where like, you know, they'll still make C tiers like relatively obtainable because like most of these C tier events are going to be able to get like, you know, 4 or 5 like of the PGR players in my opinion. Like because there's another event happening in Michigan this past weekend that had players like, you know, Dark Wizzy and Salem, who I think are locks to make the PGR. So I hope they'll still be like, you know, they'll make like the bottom, like, you know, C tier events easier to obtain, while still making the A tiers like, you know, mean something and all that stuff. But that's neither here nor there. And the PGR also did announce that throughout the month of July, and I think right before Evo is when or like right after Evo. I'm not exactly sure when the rankings come out. Or when they're going to be finished.
I think it was at what was it? They had announced
August
the end of
something.
I think like the end of July, moving into August. I'm trying to see if I see it on here, but I don't.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to get it out before Evo. So, spoiler: if you guys actually want to get a peek at the Evo seating, just pay attention to whatever the top 10 of the PGR is.
Here you go. 50 through 41 is July 22nd. 40 to 31, July 24th. 30 to 21. Wow, they're taking 2 days in between, and then on August 1st is when you get your top 10. I don't know how I feel
Yep.
about that, but
Hmm.
I mean, I
You know
get
what it
it.
is?
I get it,
Yeah,
but
I think it's because they want to get it out before Evo, which makes sense.
I just
So
mean like stretching it out. I totally understand wanting to stretch out the content and having people focus on the players that get announced, but I don't know.
I
That's a lot of days. That's like 10
yeah
days worth of release.
yeah I get it because the PGR is kind of a big spectacle, like, and especially because I think they want to really pull out the stops for how big this one's like gonna be. It is the first official one for Ultimate. Because there's also written pieces that they do about this. They have the video pieces that they do. So there's a lot of man hours and work that has to go into this, but I understand, stretching it out is definitely, you're milking the cow until it dies. But I think it's a lot of fun personally. I love the lead up to the PGR, and I'm very excited for the weeks of content we're going to be able to make of this. But yeah, it's all going to be out before Evo, so only a little longer until that gets
So
figured out.
that's the thing is I'm not sure like in the meantime like the Defend the Norths, which we'll get into in a little bit, which is I think garnering 400 plus entrants already.
I believe
Um,
so.
yeah, I'm almost positive. I just don't know, like, how do you rank that now? I believe I read on that PGR, I flashed it before, basically the kind of explanation behind some of the PGR stuff from the mathematician of the PGR. But anyways, he was mentioning that there really is no off season, so that would mean that like low tier city already counted. So I don't know how that gets scaled though. If they already have the top 50 calculated and if that affects it or how that goes. So that's like the one kind of question mark.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's strange to have to go back in time and like retroactively like tier a tournament. But not everything's perfect, and unfortunately, when you don't properly put an off season, because that's kind of the hard part. Too is like, where can I place this off season to where these event organizers are going to get pissed if their events don't matter?
So
Because
apparently, yeah, there is none now, but you're right because that's what happened at the beginning of the game. There was all those events that happened, and like this is the off season. So I guess now there's no off season, but in the
yeah.
beginning there was an off season.
And you also look what happened at the end of Smash 4, where the Legend of Glentenda would have easily been a B tier tournament or something like that.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, it fell within the off season of the PGR. Then, but nonetheless, that'll happen. But regardless of what tier this event was, it was a lot of fun to watch. This top 8 was very very exciting. There was again a lot of the things that I look for in these top 8. There's great character representation. There's your flagship players, like obviously a Mars Tweaks winners finals is what I think a lot of people were expecting. It's what a lot of people got. There was great storylines like Pandarian, the only unsponsored player to make it through into top 8. There was Elegant, who kind of came out of his slumber, who he had kind of had a rough start to the game, but I think he definitely proved that he is still a top 15, 20 caliber player when he's playing at his peak. And also that Luigi, probably not as bad as we all thought he was. I still think that character is criminally slept on.
he's just like he's all grab. And it's funny, like I was watching some local Luigi's before we actually started recording today,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was for Lukaska was playing someone, and I turn away. I think he's playing Sinatra, who's using Inkling. But
Oh, poor
anyways,
Sinatra.
so I look, and then it was fresh stock. I look away. I don't even know if it was 10 seconds, and then I see Luigi on the victory screen. Like once you get caught in like that vortex, and then catch that like uppercut. That's all it is. I mean, he's an interesting character. Anyone who could kill another character that quickly can't be all too bad. So.
Yeah, the way I would compare Luigi is like he's like a high performance sports vehicle. Like he's flashy. He's got great horsepower. It'll go really fast, and the people will love you. But you get like shit gas mileage,
Yes.
and
Yeah, shout outs to everyone calling DeBuzz the hype killer for taking out Elegant in semifinals. I was just like, all right.
hey man, I stand the buzz in this house. Like I didn't like I. It's hard watching you having a relationship with these people because I obviously know like a handful of these players very well, and Mars is one of my favorite players to watch and one of my like better friends in the scene. And to watch him, nothing sucks more than I feel like getting to winners finals and then getting third place.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's a definitely crappy feeling. But the story for me is Tweek doing Tweek things where he just decides, yeah, I'm gonna play this character for like a week, and then I'm gonna like win a fucking tournament with it.
Dude, he was
Like
saying that's like, so this Pokemon trainer, like, he's been grinding it, man. He moved to New Jersey, and that's the only character I think he's used in New Jersey since he's been here. And like, legitimately, dude, he was going to all the weeklies, and he went to like Platinum Star. He won that. There was that really like epic grand final set between he and Wishes, Pokemon trainer dittos, that went to like the last game, game 10, at last stock even. It wasn't last hit, but still, it was an amazing set. And you know, I think like even some of the comments I've seen, because that video actually, that VOD has a ton of views now. I think it's up to like 40,000, which like is way more than anything else on the channel at this point. But,
Heyo.
yeah, right? Pretty cool. The Tweek effect. But people are just like, yo, is this just like a flex on Wishes? And I'm like, I don't think so, man. 'Cause he literally just went and like won low tier city with it. Solo Pokemon trainer, and against a Buzz who is incredible at this game. Yeah, it's a legitimate character of his now.
Yeah, it's something.
Lethen
like,
was wrong.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's still so strange. Like, Tweek's like, he's just always operates by the beat of his own drum. Like, I saw it at Collision where he's like, I'm just gonna play Ridley and Young Link, and I'm gonna fucking get to 5th place or something like that. Like, just his ability to like see something that works in a character, and then just for him to like play it. I'm just like, I wish I could like see the world through his eyes for like an hour.
Well, I
just
mean,
to kind of like know what it's like.
He said, I mean, he was grinding pretty hard here, and the competition in New Jersey is, and that's the other thing I was realizing, is we get to say this big tournament won by New Jersey local now, which is kind of sweet. But he was saying how much he's been like grinding the character, and he's like, I've worked so hard, and you know, this, that, the other thing. So it's very clear, like, this might just be the character, and like, watching his Pokemon trainer does make me think that that character is like a top tier character, man. Like,
no, I agree. And even like Pandarian, like putting in work and showing how good this character is. Like, I don't know exactly who he beat, because like the weird part about this tournament that I didn't understand is that they played a lot of matches off stream. Like, there was a good chunk of like the really good matches that just like straight up weren't on stream. I know Esam made a tweet about it, and Mars even said that he had to ask to play on stream at one point just because they were playing everything off stream.
Was there one stream? I don't know if I knew that.
I believe there was. That might have been what the problem was.
That's 100% why. Especially when you have a tournament with like hundreds and hundreds of people. This one had like, I think I said, what, 600-700. Like, that's a lot of matches, and especially when you're getting to the days, you have a tight schedule. Like, I think they already started late as it was, even just for top 8, waiting for Melee to finish.
Oh yeah,
it's just like the time goes. Like, when you're waiting, I think fun fact from RJ, actually, shout outs to the best TO in all the land, I guess, at this point.
I thought that was Glintendo.
I don't know, but either way, oh yeah, you're right. My bad. Silly me. But anyways, RJ told me one time that I think a top 8 like consistently is anywhere between 3 to 3.5 hours if you're streaming all of it, like pretty much always.
Right. Well, it wasn't even just that. I meant more like the qualifying matches.
Oh yeah,
top 16.
Well, right. So like, figure if you had that amount of matches, like what a top 8 is how many sets? Like, so like, just think about that for qualifying matches. It's like, even more.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's Meme, the Texas Yoshi that beat Light. I think there was like a handful of other qualifying matches that got played off stream.
That dude. That's why this meta is a 2-stream meta these days.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's just too much to keep track of.
It's so strange, like, coming from a world, because like I'm still old enough to where I remember where like not every local had like a stream, and now like most locals, even if it's a a poverty stream, it's still something that like gets VODs out.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're a dime a dozen now, man. Like VOD channels, it's yes.
Yeah, no, it's nice, but that was kind of the unfortunate part, and there was a lot of some pretty decent upsets for the most part. Like, I know New Jersey natives and best Brawlhalla player in the world, Sandstorm, beat Myron. I'm trying to think of what else there was. Myron also got like 49th. He ate like complete garbage at this tournament.
Oof. Yeah, Sandstorm even taking Tweek to game 5. I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
going
all in road to 9th place.
Yeah, going Shotos, and the significance of Sandstorm, I think you already mentioned it, is that he did win Brawlhalla. Like, he's like a big Brawlhalla player, which I think I saw his tweet afterwards, just like, I think this is a sign I need to practice Smash now. but the dude's obviously very good, and I remember actually having him during Royal Flush on the stream.
Yep.
I think he may have even played Mars, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he beat Captain Zach. That's what
Oh,
happened.
that's what it was. Yes.
Yeah, I remember. I'm just like, who the hell is this guy? And then I found out he like lives in in the middle of like bum fuck nowhere, Pennsylvania, but
Yep.
like goes to like a lot of South Jersey tournaments. I'm like, all right, so let's go Tri-State. But nonetheless, good stuff to him and good stuff to New Jersey native, all Northeast top 3, by the way. Just pointing that out.
Yeah, just gonna throw that out there. What else is new, right? That's the trend now.
Yeah, like it was super exciting, and like I definitely have Low Tier City 8 like on my list of events to go to next year, because like when I like see something like this and like I feel bad that I'm not there, like that's a big thing for me. I'm just like, oh man, like that event just looks cool. Like I just want to be there.
It really did look cool, to be fair. So
Yeah, without a doubt. So again, shout outs to Texas. Like they may have trolled in our PR picture comments, but hey,
yeah,
let
I
bygones be
mean,
bygones, I guess.
sometimes you're just mad.
Of all the things that I thought people would not get mad about, that was like on the bottom of my list.
Sometimes you're just mad. I guess I could pull it off. It was more amusing than anything else.
Yeah, like just out of all the things that I thought would like catch the most heat, I didn't think a picture of the Last Supper of would be the
He goes, something looks familiar, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean that's a drawn picture, and this is a not drawn picture, and I was like, it's pretty similar, except for this is both parodied off of a 500-year-old painting, and also the players in this portrait are just way better. So like, that's just how it goes, man. I don't know what to tell you. And ironically, I don't think Glenn ever saw that graphic before he made this one. So
I didn't see that graphic either.
yeah, me neither.
Like,
so just like get
like,
good, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, like I didn't. There was copyright infringements on things that were already copyrighted. Like, there's bound to be like multiple PRs of the same like thing. Like, how many people have done Anime Girl PRs? We still haven't done one, and I'm really upset about that.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, do you remember the last season of Wii U when literally every single PR was a Persona 5 like take? Every single one.
Yeah, or like everybody's first PR this season, or like for Ultimate was DLC wish lists.
And if you're gonna tell me there's someone more suitable than Nairo to be Jesus at the Last Supper, then I'm not gonna buy it. Leon trying to command grab, like, come on, dude.
There's so many layers in the picture.
There's so many layers to this picture, man. It's
Crom's
actually pretty epic.
Crom's gaping mouth, like it's my favorite thing. So before we move on to the other tournament happening this weekend, the one thing I did want to kind of bring up about Low Tier City is that, as you can see by the other topic screen we have on screen, is that tournament etiquette. It's something that I greatly wanted to talk about, and it's something we've mentioned like briefly a couple of times. Like I know when we did our Hitchhiker's Guide to Attending Tournaments, we kind of told people like the do's and don'ts of like what to do when you go to Smash tournaments, like which is basically like having basic human decency and washing your ass at least once a day. But like I think the big hot topic I've seen the last couple of weeks, like I think back at Smash and Splash is when I really started seeing it, is that social awareness is a big thing when you go to these tournaments. Number one, for your safety, and number two, just for like, and again, being a decent fucking human being. So I think I go back to a tweet thread that NBD had where like, he's just like, hey guys, like I understand you want to like talk to me, but like if I lose a set, just please let me like cool off for a few minutes. I know Elegant was a big proponent of that too, where like it's like, hey, like I appreciate you guys like wanting to talk to me, take my picture and stuff, but like just give me like 5 after I like lose a set to cool off, because like I'm heated and I'm mad, and people are trying to be like, nah, we're entitled to your time, so like I don't understand why you're upset. You just need to get better and get good, and like that whole like mentality is just so toxic to me. Yeah. Like the fact that these people like are like MVD and Elegant put their pants on one arm at a time, just like I do. Like it's not the only difference is that they're like significantly better than a game that I am. And in Elegant's case, he has a girlfriend. But that's besides the point.
The exact tweet from MVD, as I have it on the screen here, says people really got to stop saying, quote, you'll get them next time, unquote, when you lose. I don't want next time. I want it now. Well, understand the heart and mind of a competitor, and it's understandable because this has actually come up a few times in the past tournaments where you'll see top player A gets like whatever fan comes up and asks for an autograph and like a hug right after they lose, which is super awkward just to do in general. And as you mentioned, social awareness, and that's the thing about this community it's kind of stressed the acceptance of everyone. So I think sometimes the social awareness part does get a little bit forgotten, but this stuff's really no different than anything else. Like,
Yeah, like here's the thing. Like it's like I was saying, these people are just like you and me. They have emotions. They have like feelings. They get angry. They get sad. The only difference is they're just way better at a video game than you are. And I think someone made a tweet where it was right after Mango, like seconds after Mango got eliminated at Smash and Splash, somebody went up to him and asked him for an autograph. And Mango, like for as long as I've been in the Smash scene, he's been the ultimate like fan guy. He never says no to a fan. And I think people are just trying to stress the fact it's like, listen, like we understand that these people mean a lot to you, and like they, that's fine. Like you're allowed to look up to somebody and have your favorite player and ask your favorite player for a picture or like talk to them, but like just having like the wherewithal to understand like the context of a situation is just something I feel like is just lost on like certain people, and that just goes back to like you need to start like calling your boys out when they do stupid shit. Like it's just it's something that just blows my mind.
It's a
like,
tricky thing though, man, because I could kind of appreciate it on the other ends in terms of just like someone who just really doesn't get it. You know what I mean? Like they're going to a tournament, they're experiencing it, and they're just like, I don't know. It's just like you see someone who you watch on stream a lot, and you're just like, wow, this person is basically famous because I see them on a screen, which is common.
of course.
And then they just sort of just go in not even thinking about it. So it's like I you get it, but it is definitely one of those things I guess that is good to hear sometimes, because if you're that person who's just kind of geeking out seeing your favorite player, maybe just think twice before running up. Like you could definitely still introduce yourself, or just be like as if someone walked up to you, like you wouldn't want them all frantic around you. You just want to be like, hi,
Yeah,
how are you?
like it's people have
And
like
don't
these,
do it after they lose.
yeah, or in my case, don't do it while I'm eating something because I don't like talking with my mouth full.
Yes.
But like it's just again, it just comes down to weighing the situation, like understanding like when's a good just pay attention. That's all it comes down to. Like I know it's not everybody is wired the same way, and it's hard to kind of understand that in the heat of the moment because you're starstruck, and I totally get that. But like, come on, like just give it 5 minutes. Like you're still gonna be there in 5 minutes. It's fine. It's not gonna be any less awkward in 5 minutes because you're gonna be nervous.
Yeah.
Like I've watched people like stand across the room for like a clean 30 minutes trying to approach their favorite top player. If I'm gonna tell a really funny story. So it was at SmashCon like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember. But I ran into JRX, the Philly Mega
Yeah.
Man native, and I was talking to him, and he's like, "Oh man, like one of my favorite players is over there," and I'm like really afraid. I'm like to say hi to him, like I don't know what to say, and that player at the time was Aardvark, who's the villager main from SoCal,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm actually really good friends with Aardvark, so I totally put Junior on the spot, and I called him over, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And it was just like it's moments like that are wholesome and beautiful. But like, granted, if Aardvark had just lost a set, I probably wouldn't have done that. But because again, it comes down to knowing your timing is everything. Timing in Smash is everything, and timing in your socials game is everything.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah, but nonetheless, though, never feel afraid to approach me. Just not while I'm eating. Like I said, I don't like talking with my mouth full because I'm a very sloppy eater.
Yeah, it's really strange. That's kind of just like the size of the Smash community and the accessibility of it. Like I think it comes off a lot bigger than it actually is, because it is big, and there's like definitely distinctions between areas and tiers of players, as much as I hate to say it. But like it's also not that big to where it's like if someone knows you and you're like, wow, I want to meet this player, and he's like, oh, okay, like, hey, over here, meet this guy, you meet this guy, done. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so there are ways in.
Yeah, like if you know a friend of a friend, then
Yeah,
like
that's
let that
totally
friend of a friend help you out.
that's like the natural way of things. Like go to some tournaments, make some friends, those friends know other friends, and then eventually you climb up the friend tree by just being a bro. And then
Yeah,
it's just normal and natural.
yeah,
That's making friends anywhere really, not just here. So yeah, don't be intimidated by how big Smash looks. Just realize that it looks bigger than it actually is.
yeah.
It's pretty regular as far as like the type of person and everything else in it.
Yeah, and also tapping into Occam's razor, like the simple answer is the best answer. Where it's just like if you see that person just lost, give it like an hour, and then just come back later, and they'll be fine. Like that's it. All I'm asking is all I see these people asking is to wait, and the amount of people that gave MVD shit just made me like my eyes couldn't have rolled farther in the back of my head. Like it was absolutely insane. But nonetheless, though, everybody's a good-hearted fan at the end of the day, and there's going to be a lot of fans, both of the watching variety and maybe the cooling variety, because it's supposed to be very hot this weekend. Coming up this weekend at Defend the North 2019.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to find actually right now who's exactly in this bracket already, but I know there's a lot of people already pre-regged, which is amazing. This tournament's been being marketed for months now. Devin and House 2000 did a really good job sort of getting that thing out early and getting traction with it because the tournament itself has 583 people going to it. Oh wait, hold on, never mind. This is the old bracket. But I know the new one can't be that far off of that because it was over 400 last I saw.
Yeah, so this event is like one of like the staple like FX Smash tournaments. Like if you can't go to CEO, I know I said this a couple weeks ago,
Wow,
but like
this is way
if
more
you
than 500. Sorry, the event total is 1381. Jeez, this is like an FGC tournament, so a lot of that attendance goes to the other games too. But yeah, continue. I'm just looking to find Smash here.
yeah, I was just saying that like this event is like one of like the staple like FGC events.
Hmm.
Like when you really like if you pay close enough attention, like you'll notice like there's a pretty like decent community for like FGC stuff like in this area. Like East Coast Throwdown is another event that comes to mind that's actually been hosted in New Jersey, up in my neck of the woods for the last couple of years. Which like it's not primarily a Smash thing, but like there's been Smash there in the past, and it's also like huge for like other fighting games like Guilty Gear and Street Fighter, and the norm that you'd see at these other fighting games and tournaments, and it's honestly always a lot of fun. Like I went last year to East Coast Throwdown, just because it was a lot of it was a lot of fun, and it was also like literally 13 minutes from my house. So I was like, all right, fuck it, might
Yeah,
as well.
that's
I'm
you
not doing
should.
anything today.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it was fun. There was free Red Bull everywhere. My heart felt like it was going to explode. But nonetheless, I did go to Defend the North 2 years ago, where, again, like the crappy part about Smash sometimes is that a lot of these Smash is kind of an afterthought at these FGC events, but feel like because Ultimate is such a hot commodity right now that um, these event numbers are going to just continue to go up, and this is no exception. Like I don't, if you can just list off some of the names that are going, like just to like give the people
Yeah, I
an
saw.
idea of who's going to be
Yeah,
there.
I mean, I saw Jackal, I saw Jen, I see Sinji. Oh wow, Dire on Fire coming out of the woodwork there. Geez, I haven't seen him in a minute. To Kill
I'm ex-
Sage, who's probably there to play DBC fighters and whatever else he plays. Stock Taker, basically all the New York guys. I'm trying to see who else may be from New Jersey or the surrounding. To be honest with you, okay, yeah.
Also, Mars is confirmed going as well.
Does that mean Light's going?
Maybe, potentially. I
Yeah,
hope so.
this is actually pretty interesting because I'm seeing like a lot of Bonk will be there, Odyssey, more New York, Atomisk, there's some New Jersey. I'm seeing like a lot of just like tags I don't recognize. Like obviously that happens when the number of attendance goes up, but like I haven't seen any like there's definitely some big names, a lot of big New York names. I don't know. I like when stuff like this happens because then you just see oh, okay, there's the buzz. There I saw Ling Ling just a moment ago.
I believe Samsora is also going.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
yeah, this event has a lot of traction.
Suarez, more New York.
Justy or
Mystery,
Wishes.
of course. Okay, yeah, Wishes is going. I saw that via Twitter. Yeah, there's like no
Yeah,
order to the entrance here. That's why.
yeah, this event's gonna be stacked, and in the past, I'm actually really excited because, number one, like it's moved to a much closer location to at least for me, so I'm being selfish. Because in the past, Defending North was in White Plains, and now it's in New York City proper. And number two, like it's so like I was talking to Hangman, who was going to be a guest this week, but he unfortunately had some prior issues. But he'll be on the next time we record, I believe. We're probably going to break down Defend the North into a fine powder because it's not every day that like, I mean, in the past it wasn't every day where we'd have this much Smash action in the Northeast. But because the Northeast has become such a powerhouse, you see how the trickle down economics of Smash have really affected the region where okay, Tri-State is definitely very, very good. There's at least 5 players on a PGR on our power rankings that could be PGR status. And then you just look at the amount of talent that's moving in, and that what's the expression? The rising tide lifts all boats. So
Yeah, that wouldn't have been the expression I thought of. That's a pretty good one. I don't know if I don't know if I ever heard that one.
I definitely stole that from Glenn, but don't tell him.
All right, I won't tell him.
Yeah,
you
but it's gonna be
you guys don't tell him either.
Future me, don't tell Glenn. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very, very excited. I unfortunately will only be attending Sunday because this weekend is one of the few weekends of the year where I'm bogged down with normie shit. So
normie.
Yeah, my day job beckons me, and it's my best friend's birthday on Saturday. So, I'll save the announcement for the end. But you may or may not see me on the microphone. But that's spoilers. But yeah, I'm excited, and I think the summer of Smash definitely kind of got off to a wonky foot, with what happened at Smash and Splash. But I feel like that's kind of water under the bridge, no pun intended, right now, just because of how stacked everything else is coming up. Like Evo just hit like over 3,500 entrants for Smash Ultimate. It is now I believe the top game entrance wise at the tournament this weekend. So that's going to be, the next couple months are shaking out to be bloodbaths with how much money is up for grabs.
That's pretty interesting. That actually brings a lot of topics to mind where it's just like you think about things like developer support and things that Nintendo jumps in on, because the support really is it not only is it there, it's apparent, especially in comparison to other things that get a lot of developer support. So yeah, who knows what this game and the community looks like in another year. It is honest that a lot of things could change and all that. So
yeah, like it could be it could be flash in the pan, but this also could be the norm. This could be here to stay, and we'll see how, like I said, we'll see how things shape out at Evo. We'll see how things shape up at SmashCon and Shine, and the rest of the summer, because I'm sure there's a couple of other things I'm forgetting about. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, I can't wait to share it with you and other people in our lives.
Yeah, man, it's going to be great, and I sometimes get excited at the prospect because even just going back to some of the PGR stuff, as I was reading more about the ranking and how the PGR is like, I think it was basically it's popular because it looks the most official basically, but like it essentially only calculates the PGR events that are tiered. Like it doesn't really consider things like monthlies, weeklies, regional stuff like that. So that's like a whole almost like uncharted territory, and that's kind of like our bread and butter on this channel, and that particular bread and butter seems to be getting more breadier and more buttery with time. So I don't know. There's a lot of potential with that too. So
yeah,
and events like Defend the North kind of tread both territories.
Yeah, everything's looking like that box of biscuits that James got at his door last night.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm gonna find that real quick. That's some strange stuff, man. But I mean, this is what happens when you post your address on a public forum. So people literally deliver biscuits to your house. Like, look at this, man. James
Didn't he say that he did that last week or something like that?
I don't know. No, dude, he did this a while ago. He's done it multiple times. He just posts his address. He's like, yeah, come over. And he goes, I'm in my room, in my boxers, eating some soup, hoping that's some nice bread to go with it. And then a mysterious fan rings the doorbell at 10 p.m. and asks, are you Mr. Shoyo? Tells me happy birthday, then leaves. Dude.
There's so many layers.
This is my favorite part of the tweet. I'm sorry, this response. Mel goes, this is what happens when you post your address on Twitter. And James goes, I hope the next guy beats the shit out of me. Then ML goes to post his address again. It's crazy.
I
dude.
can't. I expect nothing less from the people that we keep in our close intimate circle.
By the way,
but
it's not actually James's birthday, FYI. This is just like
no,
a
James's birthday was like 7 months ago. James is born in January.
yeah. But
Yeah,
anyways,
but there's just so many layers to that tweet. Number one, who ate soup without a shirt on? Number two, who eats soup in the room? Number three, who eats soup when it's hot outside? It all comes back to soup. I need an explanation.
yeah,
here.
there's some kind of there's something going on here. There's not a very clear pattern at the very least.
Yeah,
But
like
he told me he only muscled through 4 of those biscuits out of 6.
uh,
That's pretty
oh,
good,
man,
honestly. That's a lot of biscuit.
yeah, like that's a lot of Popeye's biscuit without any drink, presumably.
Yeah.
Like those things go down dry. But nonetheless, though, yeah. So that's about the crux of what we have today. This is a pretty, like I said, a pretty light week. There's anything like super big to digest, but next week we'll probably, or the next time we record, because spoiler alert, we do not record these live except in like special occasions.
Yeah.
They're
I'm sorry. Speaking of digest, it's just this clip, please. I gotta play it. I gotta play it.
yeah. So Chris needs to play his clip of the week.
Hold on. Okay, dude, this clip is amazing.
Let's drop a Charizard. That forward tilt sets him off stage.
I know you can't hear Koopa, but everyone else can. Hold on.
Goes for the down tilt just to catch DeBuzz's option.
Just let me know when to
Just
stop.
listen
The
closely.
patience right here, we're going to go for a downer. Yes, we are, but DeBuzz still manages to get back safely. And the patience from both these players get the forward throw instead, but DeBuzz still
So,
winning. I like how Tweek is optimistic
I don't
on the
know what
stage
that
more than
fart
anything
noise
too,
was,
DeBuzz
but like there's a very clear fart noise.
finds
You can see the
his way
chat
back
going
onto the
nuts.
stage.
Fart noise, 2 question marks, poop. You got the what faces, the lulz. Dude, it was it was weird because I thought I had like a brain aneurysm. I was like, what's that noise? and then thankfully chat just confirmed for me and then talked about it for another like 20 minutes after it happened.
It just makes me so happy. Like you have a really good sense, but like when you find something like really funny, like watching you just like laugh uncontrollably is like one of my favorite things.
Dude, you should. I was kind of like doubled over. My stomach started to cramp a little bit. I don't know what it was about this clip, but it made me laugh so hard. Like,
Let it be known. Let it be. Let it be known. No matter how old, fart jokes will always be funny.
They're always funny, and if you don't find them funny, you're probably not funny or something.
Or
something like that.
or a cop.
Yeah.
Or my
a cop.
dad.
Yeah, it's one of those things. One of the 3 or something else. But
Yeah, you're a dad cop. But nonetheless, though, I think that's pretty much. I think that's pretty much it. We will end on toilet humor. So again, the plug of the socials. You can find me on Twitter at KoopaNJ. So like I said, I will be at the Fender North this weekend, and due to a health dropout by one of the other commentators, I will be commentating on Sunday.
yes.
So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm stoked. So that means I gotta do my fucking dry cleaning and shave probably. But yeah, so look forward to that. There's some other big stuff coming down the line that I cannot talk about just yet. But
Oh, you don't say.
yeah, so you're gonna be seeing there's gonna be a lot of Koopa and a lot of Chris ZX coming up the next couple weeks. Maybe coming to a town.
Oh.
Maybe coming to a town near you if you guys are.
Huh.
attention.
I don't even know about this. That's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun time. So
It's a super surprise. I've heard about
Yeah,
these.
we shall see what happens. But yeah, you can check me out there. And Chris, where can
Yeah.
the people find you?
Find me at CSantaZX and talk to me and stuff. I'll be doing a lot more actually. I'll be doing a lot more probably time come August. August is going to be a little busy. I actually will be with the MHG stream, white labeling my stream for VG Bootcamp at Super Smash Con, which will be nice. And after that, I kind of get back to a little bit back to reality. So once that happens, I'll probably be trying to do a lot more streams on this channel even. So we'll see how that all goes.
Who do we have to bribe to get a live episode of off at Super Smash Con?
Oh, dude, that'd be amazing. I
Imagine.
guess technically Gimmer.
There's,
He's like gloves off. What's that?
no, we'll tell Gimmer we'll make him a host. We'll make him a guest on the podcast, and it'll be like sold.
Dude, I just want to make Gimmer do his Fortnite dances for the podcast. Why is he so good at them?
Dude, I don't know. Gimmer is the man. Like,
Dude,
he's
why
good
is
at
he
everything.
so good at the Fortnite dances? I want to find like that weird clip he made too of him. What was that video of him like basically trying to throw out the Wii U and then the Wii U like coming back as like a manifestation of a person?
I think that was like released launch weekend, but whatever it was, I think I watched that video like 8 times.
It's really good.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I don't think I'll find it by the time we're supposed to get out of here, but like, yeah, shout outs to Gimmer for being a creative.
Yeah, so MHG will be at Super Smash Con. I will probably be at Super Smash Con. Not going to say in what capacity, but well, leave it up to the imagination.
Well, on the plus side, before we go, I did find Gimmer doing this, so that's good.
This video is so good.
Mad funny, dude.
I love it.
It's really good.
and on that note, we'll get out of here. So we're not sure when this is gonna go up. This is probably gonna go up either tomorrow.
Dude, I think I'm
Wednesday.
gonna probably upload this tonight, but I might not post it till the morning. But in either case,
so you can stay tuned for that. Next week we're not sure what we're doing, but expect some discussion of Defend the North capacity, maybe more Fortnite dances. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But until next time, I'm Koopa.
I am Chris ZX.
See you guys next time.
Deuces.